Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So a couple of quick things here before we dive into the chapter reaction review stuff proper. So you're probably going to hear droning, rolling, something noise in the background. That is because I do have a fan running to keep me cool because it is super hot outside. It's super hot inside my house. Without the fan I would literally sweat to death. So I do apologize for the slight background noise, but honestly I've listened to some other recordings to see if it's like drowning me out or droning on or being too loud. There hasn't been any noticeable effect apart from, you'll notice a slight background noise. It shouldn't ruin the video too much, hopefully. And it is necessary for my survival, so I thought I'd just let you all know in case you're wondering what that sound was. With that said, I did mean to put out a Spy Family and a channel update video last week. Unfortunately, both of those got corrupted during the recording process at some point. Tried a few different techniques to kind of try and recover them and see if I could salvage it. Unfortunately, I couldn't salvage it, so I just couldn't put it out. And this week I got preoccupied with other stuff, so I couldn't re-record it. So probably expect both of those to come out sometime next week. But with that said, I figured I'd get around to the Kaiju reaction this week, because I personally am really interested in seeing where the story's going to go from here. Yes, without further ado, let us dive into Kaiju number 8, chapter 33 by Naoya Matsumoto. Let me pull up the character list because I will guarantee I will have forgotten a bunch of the character names since last time. Yeah. Alright, so we see Mina on the cover with her giant tiger as some cats are playing around her as she's sitting by some ruins. Love it a lot. And we see a little press release of Kaiju number 8. Of course we have translation by David Evelyn and lettering by Brandon Bovia. We have, I never would have dreamed a Kaiju had infiltrated the defense force, let alone a Dai Kaiju class one. We must deal with them ASAP. What do we tell the press? And you see, we ought to keep this under wraps as we did with Kaiju number 9. I also hear certain countries experimenting with Kaiju to human tissue transplants. They would insist on having a say in this. I love this badass old man. I'll get to him. Of course, we see the resident creepy guy that's in every series. We have this bald motherfucker who looks like he doesn't have any eyebrows, a scar on his cheek, squinty eye, or not squinty eyes, narrow eyes. And he goes, we should quickly dispose of him in secret and convert him into weaponry. It's an older doctor looking refined guy going, shouldn't we consider using him as a biological weapon first? And you have, this desktop prattle is getting us nowhere. Action will come after we take him in. And you see Director General of the Defense Force, Isao Shinomiya, and he goes, I'm ordering the 3rd Division to hand Kaiju number 8 over to us. And you see this fierce, grumpy ass looking man with his goatee, just like this furrow in his eyebrows, looking dead serious, like got his fist clasped. And you see, oh man, poor guy. See in the next page, Kafka strapped up to this gigantic machine with this giant like metal strap around him, holding his hands in. He's got 2 straps on his legs. He's kind of just head down, eyes closed. And you have Kaiju number 8's vitals are stable, showing no signs of transformation. And you see everyone just kind of observing from the outside, including Hoshina. And you have Kafka going, has a full day passed already? What's going to happen to me now? And you see him thinking back to Hikaru telling him, nearly all the powerful Kaiju are used as parts for special weapons. Worst case, he might suffer the same fate. She doesn't look like worried at all, just straight, blank expressionless face as she's telling him this. Kafka's having a little panic and he's like, ah. So just when I thought I'd finally gotten one step closer to being by her side, I wonder if Mina's mad at me. And you see, it's time, as the doors open and Ashura comes in, flanked by 2 guards. Her face is also just expressionless as she goes, you're being transferred to HQ's facilities. Now she walks away, she's like, hey, meet! And he stops. And he just kind of follows behind her. He's like, yeah, I figured. I have been keeping one hell of a secret from her. and given her position, no doubt she's taking the blame too. And as he goes outside, he sees an armed force squad ready to escort him to the base. And you have security detail for the trip is all ready, ma'am. What is her name? Oh, Nakanoshima. Nakanoshima's like, yeah, everyone's ready to go. And you see Kikoru along with Lord, my brain is really not working today. Kikoru with Ichikawa and Iharu. Also, all their standing guard, all of them with their eyes downcast, not looking at him. Kafka's like, crap, I can't look him in the eyes. I wound up betraying Ichikawa too. He's been looking out for me this whole time. I bet he can't forgive what I've done. And he's like, I'm sorry. This time it really is the end for her. And Ichikawa goes, sir, I have faith that you'll come back. And he's like, huh? He's like, kushunk. As he's led into like a giant trailer and locked in. And he's looking back in surprise like, Ichi. And Mina's like, that damn Ichikawa. He'll get 50 push-ups for his unauthorized outburst. Kafka's like, Mina. She's like, when you dashed in to save the base without a moment's hesitation, I was shocked to see you as a kaiju, but I also thought this was such a Kafka move. She goes, we have testimony and footage to vouch for you. If we can prove that you're human, there's a chance you can escape disposal. We're also going to report all of your deeds as an officer as well. In the 3rd Division, not a single person considers you a kaiju threat. It's like, it's time. Sit. There's a Kafka Hibino. Based on Article 13 of the Defense Force Regulations, we are transferring you to the Ariake Maritime Base. To ensure citizen safety on the way we have... He goes, Mina. And you see him like, trying not to cry as he's scrunching up his face. He's like, can I still strive for a place by your side? And she looks down from one and goes, sure, I'll be waiting. Oh, and you see him just gritting his teeth, his tears are coming down his face. You have Kodo War Tokyo Defense Force Base, Ariake Maritime Base. Bulkheads 23 to 31 sealed. Locks are in proper working order. Kaiju number 8 is now contained. And you see him just in this huge ass room on this chair with what I assume like electrical cables tied to it, with the same kind of straps on from before. And you see Kafka just has a look of determination on his face. So you have episode 8, Kaiju number 8 captured. Next chapter hits May 20th. Oh man, that chapter went by quick. Alright, so little bit disappointed, I guess, that it was wrapped up, like the conflict between the Defense Force and Kafka was wrapped up so quickly. Like, I guess the justification for it being that, you know, I guess they could kind of suss out the fact that if Kafka had, you know, ill intentions towards them, he wouldn't have risked doing such a dumbass move as revealing himself to right in front of everyone in the base, you know, transforming, kind of getting his secret out, you know, doing all that. So I presume a lot of them, because of, you know, their close relationship to Kafka, because they know what he's like, and because of, you know, the boldness of what he did, I assume they kind of just landed on the side of thinking like, yeah, you know what, even though he did withhold such a big secret from us, I can see why he did, and he's obviously got, like, you know, reasons for doing. He's not a bad guy, so I can see kind of the justification for, you know, their continued faith in him. On the other hand, with Ashura, I think it's a little bit harder to buy, given that we know, you know, a little bit of her past with Kafka, and like how she joined the Defense Force because of her intense hatred for Kaiju. I feel like there should have been a little bit more conflicting emotion with her, with regards to, you know, Kafka hiding the secret. Again, the narrative tries to kind of justify by being with her trying to be like, oh, you know, I know him so well, but the whole, like, you know, that was exactly like the Kafka kind of move you would pull to kind of justify, you know, why she's not as, I guess, annoyed or betrayed by it. But I feel like it was wrapped up a little bit too neatly for me, so I don't know, a little bit disappointed it ended as quick as it did. I'll have to wait to see what the next few setup chapters are going to do for the plot going forward, and how they're going to deal with this. If the rest of the plot, if it's just like, Kafka does something to prove himself, or someone speaks on his behalf, like, oh, we can try it as an experiment. Like, it'll depend really on the delivery for me with the next few chapters to kind of see how well this narrative aspect of it holds up, or is going to kind of go a little bit more downhill again. But apart from that, relatively short chapter, not much to say. It was kind of a transitional chapter from one arc to the next. Like I said, since there's not going to be another 2-week break, it'll be really good to kind of get answers sooner rather than later, so I'm hoping we get some good ones. Looking forward to that. Since the chapter is coming out next week, I wasn't planning on having that early, but I have a break next week, so I'll get around to doing a review for it then. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.